Download, install and configure WordPress with Microsoft Web Platform Installer, that is WebPI. Installation is very easy and takes on average about 5 minutes to complete. For other window installers, check this session. The first thing to check is step 1, things you need to know before starting. These steps will work on Windows version which includes IIS, that is Internet Information Server, such as Windows XP Professional, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8 and Windows Server. You might be able to install programs on your machine, that is if you have administrator rights. So basically you require administrator right to do all the things listed over here, and once WebPI is installed, neither XAMPP nor other web server will be able to use localhost to host a website locally on your machine. The step 2 is to navigate to the WordPress installation page. Choose the install button. If you have a WebPI already installed, it will automatically be launched and you can skip to the next step. If you do not have a web platform installer, you will be prompted to install it. WebPI is a tool from Microsoft that downloads and installs the latest components you need to develop or web host applications on Windows. Everything is in the tool is free. WebPI will install and configure IIS, PHP, MySQL and anything else you may need. Now let's see the step number 3, that is to choose to install WordPress. When WebPI launches, you will see the information page for WordPress. So starting with the WordPress by pressing the install button in the lower right hand corner. Step 4, installation of WordPress and its requirements. First you need to find the dependencies, that is WebPI will determine the minimum set of components and modules you will need on your machine to run the WordPress. It will only install what you are missing. For example, PHP will be installed and configured to run WordPress. Configure the database after accepting the terms and conditions. If you need to install MySQL, you will be asked to create a password for the root account database. Keep this password safe and WordPress will ask for this information later. Choose a site to install WordPress to. You may install to an existing website in IIS or create a new site. Use the default settings if you do not have the advanced configuration needs. Then the requirement is WordPress setup. WordPress will need answers to few specific questions such as the username in the case of new MySQL install is the root. Password for your MySQL database to complete the install. Coming to step number 5, completion. Once you have entered the WordPress setup information, WebPI will finish the installation. Then next click launch in the browser and WordPress will launch. Alternatively, the Bitnami WordPress installer is a free self-contained native installer for WordPress that includes Apache, MySQL, PHP, so it works out of the box. Now let's see the WAMP server. If you do not have IIS on your computer or don't want to use it, you could use WAMP installation. WAMP server or the WAMP server at SourceForge or Bitnami WAMP stack can be downloaded freely and set up all the bits you need on your computer to run a website. Once you have downloaded and installed WAMP, you can point your browser at localhost and use a link to phpMyAdmin to create a database. Then in order To install WordPress, download the zip file and extract it in the web directory for your WAMP installation. This is normally installed as in the C directory under the WAMP directory, and then www, and then create a directory called WordPress. Finally visit http ://localhost/WordPress to start with the WordPress install, assuming you extracted into the same directory. There is one information tip: if you want to use anything other than the default permalink structure on your install, you may surely do enable the module_rewrite module in the WAMP server. This can be enabled by clicking on the WAMP icon in the taskbar, then hover your Apache in the menu and then Apache module, and ensure that the rewrite_module item has a check mark next to it. So this was all about the installation of WordPress with various servers and various methods, whether they were automated or manual installations. We have seen it all in the installation sessions over here, so you can refer to this session as many times so that you can have all the information without making any mistakes to install the WordPress on your server or local machines without any issues.